I, I had asked you this actually earlier because I really want to understand, and I don't understand, the conception of God that you have, or gods that you have. And we had talked about it before, and I wonder if there's some way that you can explain to us how you think or how you understand God, gods, the divine. Do you have a conception of that? And if so, what is it?
See, when we say conception, we are referring to concepts. When we say concepts, obviously they're constructed in our minds, whatever our concepts are. Probably you're referring to the 33 million gods and goddesses of India. These 33 million happened when our population was 33 million. Since then, because of Western influence and Western education, we've become little shy of creating gods. We must understand this. In India, in the northern part of India, these terminologies have been lost because of invasions and the kind of beating that northern India has taken over a period of time. But in southern India, still a deity or see, the word God doesn't belong to India. We don't have such a word actually. There's no the God word anywhere. We call them Bhagwan. Bhagwan means a blessed being. That's the highest word we kind of have. There is no the God word anywhere. So, these deities are referred to as yantras. The word yantra literally translates into a machine or an instrument. So these are instruments to access different dimensions of life. See, we as human beings, we are who we are today in this world. One thing that's really worked for us is the tools that we created, isn't it? For example, maybe many of you've seen, I think there was an image of that in the video. There is Dhyana Linga, which is called a temple. It's called a yogic temple or a multi-religious temple. When I'm speaking, if I refer to the Dhyana Linga as a tool, some devotees get very hurt. Sadhguru, don't call it a tool, it's more than our life. I say, that's fine. If you think I'm offending you by calling Dhyana Linga a tool, you do one thing, you come to the yoga center, I'll give you plumbing job, 3 days. You do it, I won't give you any tools. Just with your bare hands, you can use your teeth. In 3 days' time, all your nails will be gone, some of your teeth will be gone. Then if I give you a spanner, will you worship it or no? Hello? It's the tools. It is the tools. Right now, I'm speaking here, it is the instrument called microphone which is really speaking to you. Otherwise, if I spoke here, these 10 people would hear, the people behind would poke them and what did he say, what did he say? They would say whatever the hell they wanted to the person behind. This is how it happened in ancient times. Because only these 10-15 people heard. See, today microphone. Why? Because we can speak. To enhance speech, we got microphone. That is not good enough, we made a telephone. We have vision, so we made a microscope, we made a telescope. Because we can walk, we made a bicycle, we made a car, we made an airplane, we made all kinds of things. If you were made like a tree, rooted to one place, would you have thought of a bicycle, I'm asking? No, because every instrument or every machine that we have created is only an extension of our existing faculties. We have not created anything absolutely new. Everything is just an extension of our existing faculties. So the deities are like this, they're made for different purposes. For every kind of purpose in life, there is one deity. So if you want money, there's one deity. If you want power, there's another deity. You want knowledge, there's another deity. You want love, there's another deity. You want to be fearless, there's another deity. Like this for everything. Just to cap that, you've heard of Ramanujam, have you? No, the mathematician? There was a movie about him.
Yeah.
I saw that movie here in Los Angeles, I think. You know Ramanujam? So Ramanujam is late 19th century and early 20th century, 19… 1911 or 1912, he died, I think.
Very
He was
young.
born… Huh?
Very young.
Yes. He was born in Tamil Nadu, where we are, in the southern state. He started pouring out mathematics. He's a devotee of a particular female deity. And he started pouring out books and books of mathematics, no training of any kind. So some English professor identified this and sent him to England, Oxford, right?
I think so.
So he just poured out mathematics. To what extent means, in 1910, he wrote mathematics or the mathematical structures for black holes, describing black holes, when there was no concept of black hole in the scientific community. See, in science, first the concept, then the theory, then the math. But he wrote the math when there was no theory, when there was no concept, he just wrote the math. He was dying of tuberculosis. He sat on his deathbed and simply poured out bookfuls of mathematics. People asked, where is this coming from? He said, my Devi, my goddess, bleeds mathematics. These are his words. Because he is using that deity to open up a window to the existence. I am a living example of that. Just opening up a window and suddenly everybody thinks you know everything, you don't know a damn thing. You just opened a window and you looked out and you're just talking whatever you see there. So these deities came up like this to serve different purposes of human life. Different energy forms were created. There is a whole science of consecration. It's a very powerful science. You must come and experience. There is one here at the Tennessee Center. If you come to India, it will just blast you in the face, you don't have to believe anything. It is not by belief. Just the very energy there is like that because these are consecrated spaces created for specific purposes. To teach yoga, we consecrate one way, to make other experiences happen. This dhyana linga means it's a meditative form. Without any instruction, people will become meditative. No instruction, no previous experience. They come and sit down thinking they will sit for 5 minutes, they will simply sit for an hour, 2 hours. Recently somebody came, just before I came here, in the month of March. One man came from Himalayas, he just sat down in the temple in the morning, when 6 o'clock when the temple opens, evening 8 o'clock, he was still sitting there. He just didn't move. So people got scared, he may leave his body. They came to me, Sadhguru, this man has not opened his eyes since morning, he just sat there over 12 hours, he's not moved an inch, he's simply sitting there. Then I knew who it is, I said, don't bother, just go and whisper to him, Sadhguru will see you tomorrow morning, he'll wake up. So because the energy itself is meditative, you don't have to know anything, it makes you like that. So this is a science that was explored profoundly and we created forms. You won't believe, there are tribes of thieves. You know, you've heard of the Pindaris and others in India who are bandit tribes. They have their own gods and goddesses. Before they go on their thievery, they have their gods who will assist them in that. They created that kind of energy for themselves. This is like creating any other instrument. You have a science and technology, you can make wonderful life-saving instruments out of it, or you can make a gun out of it, you can make anything out of it, you could have made anything out of it. So people made various deities for different purposes in their life. But this thing about this is the god never existed in the country or in that culture. This is why this is one culture which constantly taught people that your life is your karma. You heard of that word, that's become an English word now. Karma means your action. Physical action, mental action, emotional action and energy action. These 4 dimensions of activity you're constantly performing. Over 99% of it is unconscious. See, from the moment you got up today morning till this moment, these 4 dimensions of activity, your physical activity, your mental activity, your emotional and energy activity, how much percentage of it are you performing consciously? Believe me, it's way below 1%. When 99% is unconscious, life will be accidental. When life is accidental, anxiety is natural. When anxiety becomes your way of existence, Now fear is the key, you'll just about believe anything. You're ready to believe anything. You're just trying to hold on to something that gives you some comfort, some solace, something to make you feel like you're standing safe.